Okay, next up to present for Green Poultry Farm is Vasco Cossa from Mozambique, studying physics at Eduardo Mondlane University. Welcome.
Thank you.
So good to have you here today. How are you feeling?
Very excited and yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for making the trip. Thank you for being here. We're looking forward to your presentation.
Thank you.
Go ahead and take it away.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I'm honored to stand before you today to present Green Poultry Farm, from farm to fuel, revolutionizing poultry waste management. Well, once a great man said, it is in your hands to make a better world for all who live in it. And that's why our vision is to transform the poultry industry by implementing innovative farming techniques with a strong commitment to environmental stewardship. Did you know that chickens are the most abundant and widespread domestic livestock in the world? Well, the total number of poultry products has tripled since 1990, and it started from 10 billions to over 35 billions in 2020. And today, the global market is accelerating with a compound annual growth rate of 8.6%. And it is expected that between 2022 and 2026, the incremental growth will be of roughly $57 billion. And today, the key trend for this market is the development of clean meat. Well, in Mozambique, the poultry industry has the potential to fight poverty and as well as fight food insecurity. And the gross value for poultry market in Mozambique is estimated roughly to $350 million, and it has a compound annual growth rate of 13%. And just to make it visual, in 2005, the poultry sector was producing less than 5,000 tons of meat. But in 2021, local production surpassed over 135,000 tons of meat. So this was satisfying 98% of the domestic demand. And today, Mozambique is the second, ranks the second in chicken production in Southern Africa. It only loses for South Africa. And in Matola, which is our target location for our pilot activity, this sector employs over 12,000 people. And Matola accounts for 48% of the national production. So poultry is changing a lot of lives in Mozambique, but this comes with a cost. And as the demand for poultry products rise globally, so does the impact on the environment. And today, 80% of global greenhouse gas emissions that comes from agriculture is produced from poultry. And 11% of these are manure-related emissions. In Mozambique, over 200,000 tons of poultry waste is produced annually. And the indiscriminate disposal of this waste is causing a lot of environmental problems. As we can see in these images, these are bags full of poultry litter that is deposited in the banks of a public highway in Matola. So this causes a lot of discomfort for people that use this highway, and also it disturbs the local environment. So the development of poultry sector is bringing a lot of environmental problems, such as soil pollution, water pollution, as well as air pollution. So these also are some images that we captured. As we can see in the right one, we have eutrophication in soil due to poultry litter that was deposited there. And also we have pollution of water bodies. This is one of the principal rivers in Matola. And as you can see, we have bags of poultry litter there, and it's polluting water. So it's a very huge problem. So what is our solution? Well, Green Poultry Farm use poultry litter instead of dumping, use poultry litter to produce valuable products such as biogas and biofertilizers. And how do we do that? As we can see in this scheme, first we collect poultry litter from poultry farmers, and then we process it in our plant. We convert both in the poultry litter and biofertilizers as well as biogas. And then we sell the biofertilizers to farmers, especially those that produce grains for poultry industry. And the biogas we use to produce, we sell to the farmers, and they use this biogas to heat the chickens while producing. So we have data that shows that 90% of poultry farmers in Mozambique use coal. This promotes deforestation, and deforestation in Mozambique is a very huge problem. So instead of using coal, we tell the poultry farmers to use biogas, which is cheaper, which is renewable, and also is affordable. And we did the prototype, we tested our idea, and we used, how can I say, we used locally sourced material to build a set of biodigesters, and we used 60 kilograms of poultry litter. We converted it, and successfully we produced 26 cubic meters of biogas, as well as 55 kilograms of digestates that we use to produce our biogas and our biofertilizers specifically. And I have an animation here, but I don't know why it's not running, but okay. Yes, we were able also to produce our MVP, which is, as I said, our biofertilizers. We have liquid and solid biofertilizers, and we also did a trial to test how efficient these biofertilizers are. And as you can see in this image, we use only water to feed this plant. And in this bottom one, we use both solid and liquid biofertilizers as well as water. And the image showed the results that poultry-based biofertilizers are very efficient. And what makes our solution different? Well, if we use anaerobic digestion to produce biogas, you have a mixture of gases, not just methane. You have also carbon dioxide and also hydrogen sulfide. So these gases are inert, and they reduce the heating value of biogas. So how can we do to reduce these gases in our biogas? We use biochar. Biochar is basically a charcoal that is produced by processing, how can I say, processing materials. Yeah, using pyrolysis, thank you. And when we take this biochar and put in contact with our biogas, what happens is like this biochar absorb carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide. And then we downgrade the content of these inert gases, and then the methane level increases. So this makes our biogas very pure and ready to be used. So we did experiment in lab. We used biochar that we produced, and we assessed that it could absorb roughly 907 milligrams of carbon dioxide per gram of adsorbent, as well as hydrogen sulfide. So we assessed that with 1 ton of poultry litter, we can produce roughly 200 cubic meters of biogas. And we also did a market validation campaign where we presented our MVP to our target market, our target poultry farmers as well as farmers. And we learned that the products that we are producing are extremely relevant to this market. And in Mozambique, more than 3 million people are involved in farming. And our business model is business to business. We sell our biogas and our biofertilizers to farmers. So we focus in small scale and medium scale farmers, and because these are the ones that are most responsible for the problems that I mentioned earlier. So our startup cost is for roughly $46,000, where 72% of this we'll use to build our plant and put the compression systems. And also 9% of this money will be for feedstock acquisition during the entire year, and 19% will be for the labor. So based on our estimation, we will process 1 ton of poultry litter monthly. And in each year, we will have a revenue of roughly $25,000. And we earn money by following four steps. First is marketing to attract the users. Then we do the collection and we process the raw material, and then we sell the results. As I said, is biogas and biofertilizers as well as biochar. So we have a lot of players in both biofertilizers market and biogas market. But the difference between these players with us is like we have three products. We have biogas, we have biofertilizers, and biochar. So this makes our idea more strong in the market. And we work on developing strategic partnerships. We have partners from the academia and also from the industry. So we have strong support for them, and we believe that we can be strong on this. Well, our team is composed of 5 students. Three of them are from natural science, like physics and chemistry, and 2 of them are for engineering. And we have strong support for people from academia and people from industry. So thank you very much for your attention. And as remember, it is in your hand to make a better world for all who live in it. So Green Poultry Farm is not just a business. It is a movement toward a circular future. So thank you. Obrigado.
I love that. It's in all of our hands, and it's a movement. Well, congratulations on a great presentation. Will the judges chat for a few minutes? Okay. You and I will chat for a few minutes.
Sure.
This is actually your second time with Wege Prize.
Yes.
You were a part of finalist team Aqua Pro last year.
Yes.
So what drew you to Wege Prize again?
Well, first, in the last year, we were like 5 students, but we were from different countries and different time zones and stuff. But this year, we decided to apply, but doing some sort of teams that are in the same country. And this time, I met 5 great students from my own university, and we decided to apply this year. And we started to develop our idea, and then we find mentors that are very good, and they help us to develop this idea. And we're able to do a prototype. So that's very fantastic. And yeah, the idea is to apply with people that we can sit in the same spot and then think together. So that's why I applied again this year.
Wonderful. That team dynamic is so important. And how did you all find each other? I noticed that your whole team is from the same university.
Yes. We 3 of the students, like me and 2, Carla and Odavia, we are from the same faculty. Mm-hmm. So they are doing chemistry and I'm doing physics. So we like met before applying. We knew each other. And the other 2 are from engineering faculty. We also attend some courses together, and then we became friends, and then we decided to join our expertise and apply for this competition.
Wonderful. Great blend of skill sets.
Yes.
All right. Well, the judges are ready for you for your Q&A. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. I have first question.
Okay.
Tell me more about the development of your anaerobic biodigester. Will you build it yourself, or will you import parts, or will you import an entire sophisticated anaerobic digester?
Yes. Well, for the prototype, we build by ourselves. We use locally sourced materials. We used plastic bottles. We use PVCs and all the other components. And we use also air chamber for tires, car tires, just to store the gas. But when we enter the market, we will not use this kind of materials because we want to produce in large scale. So we are in contact with some Chinese companies that produce. They prefabricate and then they export the materials. So we intend to do this when we enter to the market. So we won't build by ourselves, but we will install because we will order it from China and then we will install.
And then how much adaptation do you require for your biochar addition to that process, or will that be separate?
For biochar?
Yeah.
Okay, for biochar, what we notice is we have two main steps. The first one is to do pyrolysis, which is thermally processed organic materials. But we noticed that in order to have a very efficient biochar, we have to increase the number of pores in the biochar. So we learned in the scientific research that we can do this process by right after thermally processing these materials. We can put water in order to increase the number of pores. And we didn't do that yet, but we plan to do this in order to make biochar more efficient in absorbing carbon dioxide as well as hydrogen sulfide. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much for your descriptions. As with the banana project before you, you seem to have a limitless supply of raw materials to work from, so that's not an issue.
Okay.
Could you tell us more about what the challenges are for you to scale your operations so that you can have the impact that you foresee?
Well, now I'd say we don't have like very big challenges because we are ready. We just need, how can I say, we just need a space and install the plant. So we don't have like a very big challenges. We just need like funding to do this because we need money to build the thing, unfortunately. But we have a lot of materials, at least in our location. We have like raw materials that are sufficient to produce for a very long periods. And we also know that we can scale to other provinces as well as to other African countries. But now we are just focusing our activities in Matola. So I'd say we don't have like big challenges to implement our project. Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome.
How many kilograms
Okay.
of poultry manure you need to
Okay.
produce enough biogas for a family of 7?
Well, I'm sorry, could you repeat the last part?
How many kilograms
Okay.
of poultry manure
Okay.
manure you're going to need to produce enough gas for one household?
Okay. We said if we have 1 ton of poultry manure, we can produce over 200 cubic meters of gas. And this, if you have, let's say, a small-scale poultry farm, we can, with only this gas, we can, we are able we are able to sustain 20 poultry farms, small-scale poultry farms, because each small poultry farm can use like 12 kilograms of compressed biogas during 1 month. So yeah, I'd say 19 small-scale poultry farms with only 1 ton of manure. Yes. Welcome.
So one thing I wanted to ask was I was actually really impressed by how you created your biodigesters.
Okay.
And then the other question Tom was asking is like, what are you going to do in terms of, you said you're going to go to China and
Okay.
talk to them about producing them. And that kind of made me question it a little bit, because I was thinking that what you've created and how you found a way to do this using recycled materials
Okay.
I thought it was really brilliant. Could you speak further about that? Have you thought of maybe considering contacting maybe recyclers who have these materials, and then you are able to present them with your designs
Okay.
and get that back into your solution?
Yeah, we thought about it, and what brings us to China is because of, we used plastic bottles to build the anaerobic digesters. But we know if we have a high volume of biogas, then the pressure is important, a parameter that we have to consider. So we need to use very strong materials to build the anaerobic digester. And we found that steel is the most appropriate material, and it lasts for a very long time, and also it can handle the internal pressure of the gas. So locally, we don't have companies, or we don't have the ability to mold steel by ourselves. That's why we get in touch with these guys from China in order to present them with our design, and they can produce the same thing but using steel instead of plastic. Yeah, but if you find people in Mozambique that can do it, definitely we'll use local resources to do it.
Great, thank you.
Welcome.
I guess I have a question about your supply. So, pun intended here, but you've put all your eggs in one basket on this.
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
I didn't get.
So, just looking at the feedstock that you're relying on,
Yes.
which is the chicken manure. Yes, absolutely. So you've put a lot of you put a lot of reliance on actually having a continued supply of chicken manure from the surrounding farms, etc. What are your kind of thoughts around perhaps if trends change, for example, if farms become more industrialized, if farmers decide that they want to shift away from perhaps chicken farming to other types of farming, how will your business be able to kind of become flexible or respond to the changes in the amount of feedstock that's available?
Yeah, that's a very wonderful question. Well, we in our first phase, we use poultry manure, but we are actually, one of our colleagues, Odavia, she's working on her thesis, is focused on using other livestock to produce biogas. She's using pigs manure to produce biogas. So now we are relying on poultry-based livestock, but we can do it with other livestock. And instead of just using poultry manure, we can use pig manure, we can use cow manure, and so on and so forth. And also we can, we are considering the fact that we can add other organic materials to our anaerobic digester jointly with poultry manure in order to increase the biogas yields. So even if, let's say, the poultry stops, we will still have supplies for other livestock. So I think, yeah.
Thank you, Vasco, for such a wonderful presentation. Welcome. I have a question about the farms. Will they need to make changes in their own facilities to be able to use the biogas?
I'd say no. They don't need to make a lot of changes because the system is very simple. We have, and we think of selling the entire system to them. They don't need to do anything. They can just buy the biogas, obviously with low price, because they will sell their manure to us instead of dumping or sell to farmers. And they will buy the entire system. And our system is composed of a generator that produces electricity, and they can use this electricity to heat the system. So they will only have to buy biogas monthly or in every 15 days and use the generator to generate heat or electricity. Yeah. Thank you.
Great work, Vasco and Team Green Poultry Farm. Thank you so much for your presentation and again for traveling to Grand Rapids.